All right, brother. So you're sitting on the board with pick 101. All right. There are four pretty solid choices that we got to look at when you're considering that first overall pick. You're clearly going running back. I don't care what kind of PPR league, what kind of, lopsided scoring you're going with, but you're going to pick one of Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry, and Dalvin Cook. I want you to take them and put them in order for me.
All right. I got you. 101, it's got to be McCaffrey. The guy missed a majority of the last season, balled out in the few games he did play, almost as if he didn't miss a beat. And I think it's just going to be the exact same thing with a full offseason to get healthy. Number 2, I've got Kamara. I love me some Kamara. I think his highs, his ceiling are best of the best. We saw him, what was it, New Year's or Christmas last year? He had a 57-point game.
I think that was it Christmas?
I think it was Christmas. I could totally picture eating dinner and enjoying the spectacular. But that, he can pull that out at any game of the week, any week of the season. So 2. 3, I'm going Derrick Henry. I think if this were any other guy with the limited receptions that Henry gets, he'd be end of the first. But Henry just is a tank. The amount of times he touches that ball out of the backfield and just scores or goes deep, I love him. And then Dalvin is a sweetheart. I love that man. But out of these 4, he's got to be in the back. I think he's going to have a spectacular season. I think all 4 of these guys are going to be spectacular this season. But I prefer the other 3 above Cook. But how about you?
Now, just before I get into mine, just for reference from last season, the order that they went in was Kamara, Henry, Cook, McCaffrey. Obviously, McCaffrey got hurt, so that's why he came in 4th out of that group. But for me, I'm going to start with McCaffrey. I think that that's just kind of a given. I think that when he is healthy, he is the single most dynamic player in fantasy football. He's equivalent to a wide receiver and a running back combined in one person because he reels in so many passes in a game. Joe Brady, the OC in Carolina, knows that he has a cheat code in the backfield and he's going to give him the ball. So I'm not worried about, the changing quarterbacks or anything like that. That offense is built around Christian McCaffrey. So he is my number 1. My number 2, I'm going to differ from you. My number 2, I'm going to go Dalvin Cook. I think that Dalvin Cook is just electric in that offense. I think Jefferson really opened up the field for him. You have Justin Jefferson taking people deep. You have Adam Thielen on those crossing routes. And you just can't stack the box against that passing offense anymore because of how dynamic it is. So, and not only that, the Vikings invested a lot of capital in the draft in offensive line pieces. So that's only going to help Dalvin Cook when it comes to the season. They drafted a tackle early, and they drafted a guard in the 3rd round, I believe. So, that's going to help in a big way. My 3rd player is going to be Derrick Henry. And that is mostly because, again, they added on a massive piece to their offense. They brought in Julio Jones. And I don't think that that's going to hurt Henry's workload too much. I think it's actually probably going to help him. I think it's going to spread things out in a similar way to Dalvin Cook. But, maybe here and there they look away and they look for a shot to Julio or A.J. Brown. But I don't think it's going to be enough to be really important to Henry's workload. So, and then my 4th guy, obviously, is Alvin Kamara. I'm just not sold on the quarterback situation that's happening down there in where are they? Louisiana, in New Orleans. I was gonna say St. Louis. I couldn't come up with where they were. No. I'm not sold on it. So I don't know what to expect. I don't know. I'm the same way with Michael Thomas. I don't know what to expect. And maybe I'll have some more clarity going into the season when they announce a quarterback and minicamp starts and all that good stuff. But right now I'm iffy. And I think that that's what's putting him 4th in order for me. I'm not saying that he necessarily doesn't have the juice to finish as 1 or 2. And I saw last year he absolutely does. And I would 100% take him 5th overall if he falls to me in our league of record. But, I just don't. I'm not sold yet because of the uncertainty in that offense. So that's my order. It's going to go McCaffrey, Cook, Henry, Kamara.
Listen, as long as we agree it's McCaffrey at 1 and then Henry at 3, I'm happy with how you mix those. Either way, these 4 guys are going to most likely ball out for your fantasy season this year.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be a fun ride.
All right, I'm putting you on the spot again. You know I love to do it. Tell me one guy that could jump into the top 4.
One guy, Jonathan Taylor. I mean, you got Saquon that could make that jump. You got Zeke that can make the jump. And I think the 3 guys are 5, 6, 7. But I think Jonathan Taylor is the guy. Let's see. He did fantastic last year later in the season once they finally committed to him. I don't see Hines as a threat at all, truthfully. And I think Wentz just kind of feels comfortable with a reliable guy back there, dinks it off to him. So there's the receptions. And then I think Jonathan Taylor gets it done on the ground as well. It's kind of that double take receiving, rushing that he can handle. And I'm excited to see what he can do this year.
Hear me out on this.
How about you?
Nick Chubb. I think he could absolutely jump up into that upper echelon of running back this season. I think people who are taking him, he's going in the back end of the first round, and I think those people are getting an absolute steal. You know, if it wasn't so blasphemous to take him over a Derrick Henry or an Alvin Kamara, I would consider him earlier in the draft. But I just can't. I can't in good conscience take him over one of those guaranteed stud running backs. So. Nick Chubb is my dude. He finished his RB9 with missing, I believe, 5 weeks last season. So 4 weeks. So that's pretty impressive. You consider it.
And that's with Kareem Hunt being there.
That was going to be. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, so he's truly no threat. I think they are just a perfect tandem.
Yeah. That was my counter argument was, Hunt's going to vulture rushing attempts, but they work together. They work so well in conjunction. And we know that Kevin Stefanski is going to run the ball. So, all right. Well, that was it. That's our consensus top 4 there.